Hey everybody. I just wanted to post a video. Let me turn down this radio so it's not distracting. I just wanted to post a video because I've made this vlog, so when I start driving truck, I would just post on, the places that I've been and what's going on right here on the road. And I just haven't been able to really sit down and write anything, because that's how I normally do the vlogs. I feel like I'm just constantly driving, and I'm okay with that. It just leaves me no time with doing anything else. If I'm not driving, I'm planning out my trip or doing paperwork or trying to squeeze in a shower or sleep time, which is really important. So it's just not much time to really have free time for myself, and that's okay. So I'm just thinking, how I'm asking the Lord, how can I, let people know what's going on and what God is doing out here. And so the only thing that I can come up with is a video. And I have never really done a video as a vlog. So, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I just keep putting it off because maybe it's pride. I want it to go good. I want to look good on the video, and I don't want to stumble around or stutter or anything like that. The Lord is just saying, just do it. Who cares? You got to start somewhere. So I just kind of want to let you know there's been some pretty interesting things happen lately. This past week, I had to grab a load up in Michigan, Saginaw, Michigan, I think it was, and I had to deliver that to Laredo, Texas, which is, quite a hike. I think it was about 1,600 miles, 1,700 miles, something like that. So anyway, it took a couple of days to get down to the bottom of Texas, and Laredo is like right there at not the far bottom, but it's right there on the border of the bottom of Texas, of Mexico, because that's where we take our loads that go to Mexico. So anyway, I was on my way, and I knew that there was a snowstorm coming as I reached the end of Illinois, or as I was entering into Illinois, the southern part of Illinois, out of Indiana, and just kind of going around that bend where Kentucky, Illinois, and Missouri all meet, and it was just this relentless snowstorm, blizzard-like, and I just got stuck in traffic jam after traffic jam after traffic jam. I think I went 300 miles in 10 hours. It was ridiculous. Maybe not even, I think it was only 200 miles, something like that. So anyway, I ended up getting into this 2-hour traffic. One of the traffic jams was 2 hours long of just sitting. We weren't even moving. People were getting out of their trucks, kind of mingling with each other, just, turning off the trucks, doing engine checks, and, just kind of killing time. Since you had to be sitting there anyway. So, that was, and the traffic jams were caused by just tow trucks trying to get all these semis out of the ditches, cars and semis, and it was just for miles. Just, I can't even count how many vehicles were in the ditch, and they had to block the whole roadway to get these vehicles out. So anyway, that was one of the things that I encountered last week. These days just kind of run together, you know, when you're out here just driving. So it took me a lot longer than I had planned, and but that was understandable with dispatch. They understood. And I don't know, I knocked my hood mirror off. You know, I rubbed it up against a trailer. Backing into a dock, and the mirror just popped off, and it was no damage to the trailer or even my truck other than the mirror. So I had to get that fixed, and man, there was just some other things, but the one thing that, you know, it was like, you know, what does all this have to do with just how God is working out there? And I think God has just really been trying me, you know, testing me and showing me what I'm really like inside when the pressure's on, when things aren't really going right. And it kind of came to a head a little bit when I was at this truck stop the other night down here in Texas. This is where I'm at now. And I can't even remember where I was at, but it was at night. It was late at night, and I had to pull into a truck stop because my time was running out. My the legal time that I have to drive. So I was kind of pressured to find a spot, and at night it's like truck stops are usually packed so tight. Especially with the snowstorms and all that, but there was no snowstorm in Texas when I was pulling into this truck stop. I couldn't understand why all these truckers are parked on the street. I'm like, oh man, that's not a good sign. And it wasn't. And that they were parked on the street because there was no spots left from the truck stop. So I decided to give it a shot anyway. Maybe I get lucky. And there was people parked in spots that are not parking spots, blocking people, other truckers in, and I mean, it's just the way it goes. I mean, there was hundreds, I'm not kidding, hundreds of truckers in this truck stop that was only maybe
2.0 miles ahead. Take exit 581 to ramp to I-4, 10 south.
Yeah. There was only 200 spots available, 250 spots available. So, well, I gotta watch where I'm going. I need to stop off here in about 10 minutes. Anyway, so I find this spot. It's not a parking spot, but it's a spot. And just like everybody else in that place, I pull in, and this guy, he gets all upset with me. He honks at me. I go over to see what he wants, and he's cussing me out. He's like, well, I promise you I'm going to hit your truck when I pull out of here because you're in my way and all that. And of course me,
1.0 mile ahead. Take exit 581 to ramp to I-4, 10 south.
I just get so impatient, especially with these truckers. It's just, and I'm a trucker too, so I just gotta watch what I say. And I just got upset with him, and so I'm like, whatever. So I went back to my truck, and I got my phone. I went back to his truck, and I took a picture of his license plate because he said he was going to hit my truck. So I wanted to be able to
0.3 miles ahead, take exit 581 to Ram 2 I-4, 10 south.
to provide information if that really was gonna, if that's really what he was gonna do, and he didn't
Now,
like that.
take exit 581 to Ram 2 I-4,
Right.
10 south.
And he didn't like that at all.
0.3 miles ahead, keep left.
So he came back over to my truck and he was just cussing me out, and then I did something really stupid. I'm just telling you this because I'm just
Now, keep left.
these gears. Where was I at? Yeah, what I did was I have a hammer in my truck to thump my tires when I do pre-trips, and so I kind of grabbed that and I just showed it to him. You know, I mean I kind of held it up like, you know, come back again. This is not what Jesus wants me to do. This is not how he wants me to act. And the verse, you know, pray for your enemies and turn the other cheek, that all comes to my mind as I'm holding this hammer. And he's like, oh, you're threatening me and everything. So I'm like, just come back again. Anyway, he went back to his truck. I went into the sleeper. I was gonna watch a movie, and a few minutes into this movie, the Lord was just pressing on my heart, you know, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have acted that way. That was a poor attitude, and it was being a poor witness to what faith is all about. Love. Loving others. So I got my shoes on and I went over to his truck, and he opened up his door, and I said, you know, I just want to apologize to you. I want to ask for your forgiveness. I shouldn't have acted that way. And he interrupted me. He was like, effing this, effing that. You know, you're crazy if you think I'm going to forgive you. And so I knew that I wasn't getting anywhere with him. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to move, but I shouldn't have acted that way. And I'm sorry. And that was that. And, you know, the Lord presses on us to do the right thing, but it's not always a promise that it's going to go well. And I guess as I was heading over to his truck to ask for his forgiveness, I guess I kind of had it in my mind, oh, you know, well, that was good of you to ask. I mean, yes, of course I forgive you. You know, how wonderful of a Christian you are. And of course, that is not the way it went. But I still tried to maintain my integrity and just do the right thing. And by the way, I think it's important to actually ask for forgiveness and saying those words rather than just saying I'm sorry. It's more humbling. It's more genuine. I mean, anybody can say they're sorry, but you know, it's more humbling to actually, will you forgive me? To actually say those words. So anyway, God has just been really pressing it on me to act right out here, be salt and light, as my wife was saying. You know, I called her and I told her all this. She goes, well, be salt and light to them. I'm like, well, no. These guys are rough sometimes, and you know, I find myself honking my horn at them when they cut me off or whatever, and just in my mind thinking, you're terrible, you know, I hate you. But inside, I know, you know, that's not right. And my wife was asking me, you know, why do you know, because I told her that I've been listening to this audio book called The Shack, which I love that book. I think that's a great book to read, and it explains the Trinity real well. I think it's full of mercy. Anyway, I was listening to that, and I was just telling her that it just helps bring me to Christ. And she's like, well, if it's helping you to bring you to Christ, how come you're acting that way? I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe my flesh is just raging war because it doesn't want to give in to the Lord. It doesn't want to be a follower of Jesus in the way that He wants me to do. You know. So I just want to act out in not a good way, and you know, just do whatever I feel like I want to do, which is get angry or whatever. So anyway, that's what the Lord has been doing in me out here on the road, you know, and He's using these truckers to really get to my heart. And I really want Him to give me opportunities to also be salt and light to people that, you know, sometimes I'll see a homeless guy or, you know, a person hitchhiking or, you know, just people that are lost. And I want Him to give me those opportunities to love those people. So far, He's been really just working on me, which is great. And I don't like it, but I know it's good. So anyway, I hope you guys get something from this. If nothing, then it was just good for me to express just what I'm going through right now. And
2.0 miles ahead.
I appreciate you guys.
72 to ramp
If
to
you want to
55
comment or just if you just view it, I just appreciate that because it lets me know that God is using it for something. So I'm on my way to Laredo, Texas again, and I just got done going through San Antonio, and from there I'm not sure where I'm gonna go. I only have about 4 hours left on my clock, and it's only 11 a.m. close to it. So anyway, I'm coming up on some heavy traffic, so I better pay attention. I'll talk to you guys. Well, maybe you'll see me later.